Saram, dear respected elders, brothers, sisters, today we are celebrating Buddha Purnima, which fell actually last Monday, May 16th, and marks the occasion of the birth, enlightenment, and eventual samadhi of the Lord Buddha. I'm humbled today to introduce our speaker, Dr. Tulsi Maharjan, who I've had the pleasure of knowing for probably over a decade at this point. He's a very active member of the community and truly embodies Swami's teaching of help ever, hurt never. Dr. Maharjan was past district governor for Rotary District 7510. He's involved with the Somerset County Cultural Diversity Coalition, founded the Asha Project, which works directly with the people of Nepal to enable them to live self-sufficient lives, and is an active and dedicated volunteer at the New Jersey Buddhist Vihara in Franklin Park, New Jersey, amongst many, many other things. Today, Dr. Maharjan will speak on some teachings embodied in the religion of Buddhism and how they ultimately relate to the universal religion of love and unity. So without further delay, Uncle, I request you to please come up.
I guess 30 years ago, when I first came to New Jersey, I used to have to drive 2 hours to New York to go to the Buddhist temple. Our community has changed. It has become a microcosm of 21st century. It's now, as earlier mentioned, that our Buddhist temple is only 5 minutes, 10 minutes drive from my house. And I'm very happy to be part of today's Buddha's 2,566 year birthday, and to be part of with the Sarva Dharma group. And I would like to thank everyone being here, and a special thank to Mahesh Advani, who invited me, and Mahesh has been involved with me in the Rotary for almost 15 years. And this part of our interfaith program, we have through Rotary. When I was a Rotary governor, I decided, promote the interfaith dialogue. And in fact, 20 years ago, I started the Interfaith Thanksgiving dinner. So we have many activities going on. As I said, I'm very pleased to be part of today's Buddha's birthday celebration. Thank you again for your invitation. So today I'm going to be talking about, Buddha, the man who woke up. In fact, I think I didn't wake up this morning. I was in the wrong place there. I drove to 114 West Farm Road. I guess I wasn't there. So finally I realized that's the wrong place. So when I looked at the direction, it was a 144. So I wasn't, being mindful. And we're gonna be talking about a Buddha, the man who woke up. So the Buddha, obviously all of you know that he was asked, are you a god? Are you an angel, a saint? And his response was that I'm awake. Many times, we try to stay awake, to be mindful. In the Sanskrit, bodhi denotes both wake up and to know. And the Buddha is obviously enlightened one, awakened one. Usually we start the Buddhist prayers with I would like to Namo tasso bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tasso bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tasso bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the blessed one, the worthy one, the fully enlightened one. As I said, he was asked whether he was a god, angel, or saint. All he said was, I am awake. Many of us, I guess, as I said this morning, I wasn't awake. I went to the wrong place. So today we're talking about a Buddha who is the enlightened one, awakened one. How do we, I guess, be like a Buddha? Many of you know that the Siddhartha was born on full moon day of Vaisak. As I said, last week is his actual birthday. He reached 2,655 years old. He was born in Lumbini, Nepal. His name was a Siddhartha, which means the great warrior or king. Obviously, his parents were very happy. He is going to be the great warrior, but the spiritual prophets, predicted that the child will be either great warrior or the spiritual savior of the world. So the parents were very worried that he is going to be, monk or something. So they decided to keep him within the confinement of the palace. And then eventually he went out and then found, there's a suffering, the reason for suffering and all that in his venture outside. So when we visit to the doctor, what do we ask? We said, what is wrong with me? And the doctor would say, why I am sick? What will cure me? What do I have to do to get well? And that's what the Buddha taught us, what's wrong with us? Why, we are sick? We are worried about everything. We worried about the things happen. We worried about the things to be happen. We are never, be here and now, enjoying the moment, with the friends, family. I mean, it is nice, every Saturday you have a fellowship here to talk about the, things happening. Obviously, with the COVID, we had a lot of, discontinuation, and a lot of people are suffering right now because, they don't have a place to speak out or talk about it. As I said, that's, things we talk about when we go to the Buddha. So the Buddhas, provided that, I guess, ideology, the medicine. The medicine is the ideology cause for suffering. What is the cause for suffering? The prognosis, how can we get over that? Or prescription for the treatment. And then the Dharma, the truth reflecting is the medicine. As I said, the Four Noble Truths, Buddha's Four Noble Truths, it talks about all existence is suffering. We have to, when we come to this world, we have to leave one day. But sometimes, we don't want to leave. We don't want to die. A lot of people go through, I guess, even they don't like their body. They go through the operation and all kinds of things. One of the reasons for the suffering is desire is a cause for the suffering. We want more. We came to this world like this, and we're going to be going like that. But sometimes, more is better because sometimes the cultural aspect, sometimes, how we are taught, the desire and the suffering can be resolved. We can reach nirvana. But how do we reach nirvana? That's, I guess, a question for everybody. And the Buddha prescribed to the thing called the Eightfold Path leads to the ending of suffering. Just like I'm sure Sarvadharma Sai Baba had given us the way to remove our suffering and things. There are, I guess, the three pillars we call the Eightfold Path: wisdom, ethics, and the meditation. The wisdom, good judgment. Sometimes, we make a bad judgment. Right view, acceptance of the Four Noble Truths, right intention. Sometimes, we are so upset, we get up, we say something we don't want to, say. And then when you go back, in the evening, you're trying to sleep and then say, oh, gee, and I shouldn't have said that. So that's a part of, I guess, our intention is changed. And ethics, which is the people to engage only in the wholesome conduct. And then the right speech, as I said, the right behavior and the right livelihood. And then the other thing is the meditation, mental one-pointedness. As I said, a lot of time we call, I guess in the Buddhist, we call the monkey brain, You are sitting here, but your mind is somewhere else, Gee, I forgot to, I have a friend coming home tonight, I forgot to prepare food for him or her. You're thinking about, I was supposed to do this and that. So that's the part of, the mental one-pointedness, be here now, enjoy, this might be the, last time you're going to hear from Tulsi. Enjoy the moment. This might be the last time I'm going to sing Mahesh Ji. Well, there are three Maheshs, so all of you. So that's sometimes we lose the concentration and being mindful to maintain the pure thought in our mind. And there are a lot of ways, I guess, that's why we do meditation in early morning to just get all the, I guess, bad thoughts from our mind. And then there are, walking meditation, all kinds of meditation, just the breathing. Sometimes if you, get upset, just take a long deep breath. It's, it helps, but obviously, what situation you are in, but, always try to be, have that one mental one-pointedness. As I said, the thing we talk about is be here now, enjoy the moment. Later on, you will be enjoying the lunch at downstairs. Enjoy the lunch the fullest you can. So, the Buddhism is, in a way, the religion in action, He was known as the Buddha, one who awakened, as I said, he went through 6 years trying to find the perfection, trying to find that the suffering, why people are suffering, why people are dying, why the things happening. So 6 years he wandered around with the monks and trying to find that the perfect way to live. In a way, Buddhism is action. Religion in action, as I said, rather than practical. It's a part of it. It is not oriented around the God. It is oriented around human being. So we call a God, I guess, a different name, but in terms of in the Buddhism, humanity is the main thing. During the winter time, not fall, monks even won't go out, because there's also, we have the different sects of monks, the Mahayanas, which is predominant in Nepal, and the Sri Lanka, which is, they serve the different, and then obviously in Tibetan Buddhism. So all three has even though they follow the Buddha, they have a different thing. But the Sri Lankan monks, during the winter, the rainy season, they won't even go out. So they have because they might be, stepping on animals or the bugs, something like that. So it is, I mean, different, how they practice. As I said, the Buddhism is the fourth largest religion. I mean, the question is, is this a religion or the philosophy? I would say it's a philosophy of life, how we live our life to the fullest. I mean, when you talk about the philosophy, it's I mean, too many, Buddhism goes beyond the religion and is more of the philosophy or way of life. It is philosophy because philosophy means love of wisdom. And the Buddhism path can be summed up as to lead a moral life, to be mindful and aware of thoughts and actions, and to develop wisdom and understanding. Obviously, we learn the things every day, new things. It's a learning process, I guess. As I said, it's never ending. We can learn from everybody, everything. So as I said, he was searching for truth for 6 years. He wandered around with the other monks searching for truth. And he came to the conclusion that the spiritual enlightenment was not to be found in either the self-indulgence or his early life or self-mortification of his present quest. I mean, sometimes, as I said, we try so hard to be perfect. Sometimes we have to listen to ourselves, why things happening, because we are looking outside. It's within us. The solution is there. But sometimes, as I said, we try to follow somebody else because he or she is good with something. So sometimes talk to yourself, Obviously, we have a lot of mediums to do that. In the meditation moment, he said, may you find tranquility in all little moments of your day. So as I said, you might enjoy having a cup of tea in the afternoon. Take that moment, enjoy the fullest you can. Whatever makes you happy, it's just having a tea or having a conversation with your kids or family or visiting the Sarva Dharma Center, whatever makes you feel good. There's no, I mean, you shouldn't try to force yourself to be someone which you are not. As I said, the meditation helps. I mean, that is to focus properly. And in terms of main aspect of Buddhism, Buddhist path could be, I guess, summarized as having two main aspects: removing a dysfunctional states of mind and developing functional mind, which, as I said, be here and now, being mindful. That's, I guess, developing a functional mind. Like the internal functional mind, telling the truth. Sometimes we, fudge, we lie a little bit just to make other person happy. But, as I said, then you go home and you cannot sleep, because say, gee, why did I tell that person a lie? Was, untruth. And dharma, which is a duty, which, Sarva Dharma is doing. I see that you have a food pantry downstairs, trying to help those who are less fortunate than us. As I said, it will never be enough. There's always a, need. There's always a want. But you're doing a small something. Even you bring a can of soup, Campbell's soup, it makes you feel good. It doesn't have to be large quantity of things. So my SG and I'm talking about, we have our Rotary Club. We started the End Hunger 3.6 program. So we'll be providing some food we get from the different supermarkets. So hopefully my SG will be able to bring that monthly or maybe every other week, depending, his schedule. So I have I would like to help with your food program at the center here. And the peace, as I said, we're all looking for peace of mind. Love and nonviolence, that's the internal, functional mind. Obviously, the external dysfunctional mind, we have so many desire, anger, greed, delusion, pride, and jealousy. Sometimes we get jealous because, other people are doing better than me. So we need to be able to, get that dysfunctional mind control and be mindful. The Pali enchant, which is we do every, I guess, during the earlier when I chant the Namo Tasso Bhagavato Arahato. So we also chant this 5 precept every time we go to the temple or when we have a starting of the program. As I said, the 5 precepts in the Buddhism is abstinence from the killing and the forms of life, sexual misconduct, and lies and deceit, and absence from the theft. And these are the 5 precepts. So we have a lot of numbers, I guess, of 4 noble truths, and then here's the 5 precepts. We have an 8-fold path. So there are many numbers we use on that. And earlier you had the bhajan, that's what the Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dharmam Saranam Gacchami, Sangam Saranam Gacchami. That's what we chant every time. And as I said, in the Buddhist belief, Buddha represent ultimate perfection. One can achieve the enlightenment. We all can achieve the enlightenment. We have, a power to do that, but can we, be mindful and trying to do, I guess, the right things, the Dharma, which is, truth should be, I guess, discovered by individual through inner transformation. A lot of time, we take it for granted, and then something happens, all of a sudden we realize, that realization comes, and that's a part of wisdom we gain every time we make a mistake. Mistake, everybody makes a mistake, but once we realize the reason for the mistake and you move forward, sometimes, I say, oh, I give up. And that's not being, I guess, conducting the inner transformation. I cannot force anyone if you do anything. But if you realize that, transformation, then you can be happy, you can be, I guess, do things you want to do. And then obviously Sangha, the community of the seekers who are committed to self-discovery and enlightenment. As I said, you have a community here, you're doing all kinds of wonderful things for the community, and that's part of your, community. And as I said, the Buddha's, I guess, the core values, our purpose of life is to develop compassion for all living beings without discrimination, and to work for their good, happiness, and peace, and to develop wisdom leading to realization of ultimate truth. Obviously, that the universal truth is a universal. Everyone must cultivate such universal truth. Speak truth, speak pleasantly, and do not lie. When you adhere to the truth, one will walk the right path. What you feel in your heart, speak with your tongue. Earlier, I think it was read in the reading that talked about it being, speaking from your heart. What you speak with your tongue, put it into action. If you say something, you're going to do it, do it. So that way you are, trusted human being, trusted friends, because when you say something, you do it. And that's, I guess, ultimate, universal truth. Um, so those are some of the nature of Buddhist path. And this is our the Samadhi Buddha, and you will see the Buddha in a different positions. So this is a meditating Buddha, which is on June 12th, we'll be celebrating our annual Peace Day celebration. We hope that you will be able to attend. We had to cancel our May 7th event because of the rain. So on June 12th, we are also honoring Maheshji with the US President's Lifetime Achievement Award. And Maheshji he has done a lot of things. I mean, he is the kind of person, always giving. And that's the part of his nature. So we are honoring him for his 25 years of service in the community. He runs the medical health camp for those people who doesn't have insurance. So he has done a lot of things. So congratulations, Maheshji. As I said, this is a Samadhi Buddha. And you will also see the Buddha touching the ground. That is saying that earth is a witness for him being an enlightened one. And you might have seen the Buddhist flag. And in fact, the New Jersey native from West Orange is responsible for that, because when he was in 1880, went to Sri Lanka, the British government was destroying all the Buddhist artifacts in Sri Lanka. So the Colonel Alcott, he rented one of the space where he stored all the Buddhist books and stuff. And he developed this Buddhist flag. And each color represents, like a blue color represents loving kindness, yellow, the middle path, avoiding extremes, red representing the blessing of practice, achievement, wisdom, and a virtue, and a white purity of Dharma, and orange represents a Buddha's teaching, the wisdom. And we have a Buddhist scripture in Theravada, we call it Tripitaka, which is in the Pali, the monks read. And in the Mahayana, we have a sutras, we read those books. As I said, the Buddha's main teaching is do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. As I mentioned earlier, be here and now, enjoy the moment, not to think about, as I said, the past or the future. Peace comes from within, do not seek it without. We are shaped by our thoughts, we become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Buddhism came to the West in 1893, and it is, I guess, has grown. There's almost 4 million people follows the Buddhism. More than 10 million followers in the West. So that has because of the nature of, I guess, Buddhism, it is not the religion, it's a philosophy of life, how you live your life to the fullest. And a lot of Westerners have, following this Buddhism practice there. And in the, Buddha versus Buddhism, in the Buddha talks about the being mindful, training to be mindful. As I said, the yoga, meditation, which helps, potential for enlightenment. As I said, we all can reach the enlightenment. Just doing the right things. And the dharma, duty, the responsibility, which you are, doing at the Sarva Dharma here, all kinds of activities. The Buddhist tradition, encourages us to see ourselves as a impermanent. As I said, we cannot live here forever. We have to go someday. So that realization, helps in a way to, I guess, live, happily. Um, the link to, the interdependent individuals linked to one another and to our world through shared commitment to achieving and understanding of our lives and a reduction of suffering. It encourages us to rethink egoism. Sometimes we think, oh, we can do everything, try to be boastful and all that. We need to get rid of that and to consider an orientation to the world characterized by care and compassion. And there are a lot of, people who care about it. They're compassionate about the things, trying to help others who are in need. I would like to, I guess, end my, program with this mindful, I guess, prayer. Every time when you are having a difficulty, just say, with every breath I take today, I vow to be awake. And every step I take, I vow to take with a grateful heart, so I may see with eyes of love into the hearts of all I meet, to ease their burden when I can, and to touch them with a smile of peace. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share my, I guess, the little thing I know. As I said, in Nepal, the Buddhism, I guess, we follow both Buddhist and the Hindu tradition. And my, I guess, the caste group is supposed to be from a Buddhist tradition. My family actually, follows the Hindu tradition. But when I came to America, I just liked the Buddhist thoughts and sayings. So I decided to follow. As I said, we are creating a peace garden at our Buddhist Vihara. So if any one of you like to plant trees in memory of your loved ones, we also making a different signs, symbols from interfaith. Obviously the scarf you got, so all these symbols will be in the garden written. And so once again, I want to thank you for inviting me, and I look forward to, if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to take any. Any questions? Okay. Yes, sir.
No question, but we thank you very much for your work. The universality of the message that the Buddha gave to everyone. The universality is very striking. You don't have to be a Buddhist to follow Buddha.
Right.
You can be a Christian, a Muslim, a Hindu, or whoever you are. You may not even believe in God, you still can follow Buddha, because the Buddhist teachings are basics for any human life. So we thank you for bringing that out again, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tulsi Maharjan garu. And one thing that I did observe is that you spoke about Brother Mahesh here and how he does some service. And I think we have seen a lot of examples like that, where it becomes infectious. I mean, it goes down the line. Like his son Shiv here is also pretty much following his dad's path. As a young adult for us, he's done amazing things here as well. So I think the Lord takes care of people who take care of him. And that's a very good example. Both these people are set for us, and your talk has been very enlightening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I guess actually Shiva started with his leadership quality, obviously, he started with it when I was a governor of the Rotary International. He started the Interact Club, and they group of them did so many wonderful projects, and he has, continued to do that. And that's, I guess, as I said, comes from the parents, the example, setting up the example. And now I can add in my I have several of my students, when I was working at the college, I had a student from Sudan, South Sudan, who showed up in my office. He said, I want to do something. So he is now, started the Hope Project in South Sudan. So he is providing 150 scholarship every year in South Sudan. And those are the things, I think, as I said, with their, I guess, a commitment, dedication, they wanted to do a lot of good things. And I have another student from Serbia who also showed up in my office, and then now he is a professor at the college, and he is now advisor to the Rotaract Club. So I feel, proud. Seeing a Shiva, and now he is a big corporate guy, but he still, comes here to play the tabla and, helping out the community. And that's what the service above self, he has learned. So I'm very delighted to be part of your celebration today. And I hope every year I'll get to come and celebrate. It is a little distance for me, driving from Somerville, but I'm very happy to be here today, and to celebrate Buddha's birthday. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Tulsi. I think your speech was very insightful, and as Dr. Ram mentioned, the universality is very striking. Even in today's world with COVID and just mental illness, that mindful aspect, I think, is very important. And I like one of your quotes: when the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. It's so true. Once you are mentally and internally happy, that reflects on your face and in all the actions that you do. So thank you again, Dr. Maharjan, for coming. We would like to facilitate you. So if my dad can please come and just give a vote of thanks. Come, center. All right. Thank you, and we'll have Mangalarti now.
की